What's up everybody, Kyle here at Let's Talk Wax. Now the 2022 Bowman Chrome Autograph Checklist is live with a set release date of November 23rd. And I'm going to be breaking down the top 25 autos you can find in this release. Stay tuned. Now first, I wanted to mention we've got a lot of prospects to cover in this video. I usually do top 10s or top 15s, but this is a top 25 video. So I'm going to be a bit more brief than usual, but if you want to see my complete breakdown of the 2022 Bowman Chrome Autograph Checklist, you can head over to my Patreon page, links in the description. Number 2, I want to talk about the graph below, the data sheet. I've got numbers in blue and numbers in red. The numbers in red are good and the numbers in blue are bad. You'll also see some bolded numbers. If a bold number is blue, that means it's the worst on this list, and if a bold number is red, it means it is the best number on this list. So we're going to kick this video off with number 25, Brady House, a shortstop prospect with the Washington Nationals. House missed much of the back half of the season with a lower back issue that may have had some impact on his rather lackluster performance in 2022. His K numbers were pretty rough in 2022, but he was young for the level and may have dealt with the back issues for the entire season before throwing in the towel. He'll need to brush up on his ground ball to fly ball numbers if he wants to tap into any in-game changing power. It'll be interesting to see what happens in 2023 because I really like a healthy Brady House and the performance he put up in 2021. At number 24, we have Roderick Arias, a shortstop prospect with the New York Yankees. Now, Arias was the number 1 ranked international prospect in the 2022 class and signed with the Yankees for $4 million. From what I've read, there's significant athleticism here, and he's pretty much a lock to stick at shortstop down the road. He's already 6'2", and at the age of 18, there's plenty of room for him to put on good, positive growth. I know one thing for sure, there aren't a lot of MLB superstars that held a 30% K rate at any level in the lower minors. Definitely something to think about before you drop a bunch of coin here. I'm sure he'll be one of the top chases in this release. Also, he's in a system loaded with premium shortstop defenders with excellent offensive tools like Oswald Peraza and Anthony Volpe. I may be on an island here with the number 1 international prospect at number 24, but for what he's done so far in the DSL, I just can't go any higher than a rank of 3.5. At number 23, we have Ricardo Cabrera, a shortstop prospect with the Cincinnati Reds. Cabrera was another bonus baby out of the 2022 international class. He was ranked number 3 and the Reds signed him for $2.7 million. He had a decent debut in the Dominican Summer League, but didn't show off any outstanding offensive tools. Now, DSL stats are always small sample sizes, and I rarely put a ton of stock in them. So Cabrera will be a 3 until he can show me something exciting besides a solid scouting report and projection. At number 22, we've got Christian Vaquero, Washington Nationals outfield prospect, one of the youngest guys on this list. Now, Vaquero was the number 2 international ranked prospect in 2022, and the Nats liked him enough to drop $5 million. Now, he's a very tall and lean 6'3". He hits from both sides of the plate and has plus speed and athleticism. There isn't much of a sample size to work with, but I really do like the K numbers and the ground ball to fly ball rate. He's on the sell sheet, so don't expect his autos to be cheap on release. And rounding up our bottom 5, we have Wilfred Veras, Chicago White Sox first base prospect. Veras comes from a strong baseball pedigree, being part of the Tatis bloodline. He was promoted to AA at under 20 years old, but he was part of the Project Birmingham group, so I wouldn't put a ton of stock in that promotion. He's got big juice from the right side of the plate, but his K to walk ratios are ultra high due to his struggles with the breaking ball. Third base is a long shot with his defensive ceiling probably being a solid MLB first baseman. His K numbers are leaning more towards slugger, and I'll need to see a larger sample size in high A in 2023 to make my final judgment on that label. Now, Veras did hit 20 home runs and 22 doubles this season, making him one of the top power bats on this checklist. Breaking in our top 20 is Yendry Rojas, a San Diego Padres shortstop prospect that played in the DSL this year. Now, Rojas was the number 24 ranked international prospect in the 2022 class. He showed off a promising hit tool in the DSL, posting a .279 batting average while taking more walks than Ks, which is very rare for a 17-year-old. He's got fringe speed that may not play in the upper minors. I think the big question is power development. Having a 0 as the first digit of your ISO isn't going to bode well in this hobby. He's got the frame to support physical development, standing just over 6 feet, but it won't matter much if he doesn't cut his ground ball to fly ball rate down. I'll have to see what happens power-wise in 2023 before I can go any higher than a 3 on the Let's Talk Wax rank. Bringing in the 19 spot is Daniel Cueva, a middle infielder with the Texas Rangers. Cueva didn't make the MLB Top 150 International list in 2022. His best tool right now is probably his hit tool. He put up good numbers in the Complex League in 2022, hitting .330 with a 150 plus ISO. His walk rate is a bit low, indicating he is extra aggressive at the plate or makes a lot of contact outside the strike zone. Cueva could end up making a move off of shortstop as he develops. He's 6'1", hits from the left side. I'd really like to keep my eye on him in 2023, but I just don't see any electric tools here yet. At number 18, we've got Jonathan Mejia, a shortstop prospect with the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, Mejia is the number 14th ranked prospect in the 2022 international class and lands at the number 10 spot in the Cardinals' top 30. Mejia will most likely profile as a third baseman as he ages with his above average arm strength. He had a quality year in 2022, hitting .267 with a .212 ISO while maintaining great K numbers as a youngster. I really like the power output at 17, the quality K numbers, and the ground ball to fly ball ratios here. He's got a lot of things going in the stat line that could make him a breakout prospect in 2023. At number 17, we've got Rosman Verdugo, San Diego Padres infield prospect. Verdugo was the number 47 ranked international prospect in 2022, and unlike many of the 17-year-olds, he skipped the DSL and made his professional appearance stateside in the Complex League. He showed off the power tool with 18 extra base hits and 7 home runs and just under 200 plate appearances, which is impressive for a player yet to turn 18. He hit for decent average, but the elephant in the room right now are the K numbers. I'll be a bit forgiving of the 35% K rate in 2022 due to the fact that he was only 17 in the Complex League. Verdugo posted huge power numbers, and if he can cut down the K numbers and hit for a bit more average, look out. At number 16, we've got Leonardo Balcazar, Cincinnati Reds infield prospect. Balcazar recorded 15 extra base hits in 2021, pushing his ISO to nearly 300 in a small sample size in the DSL. He made a stateside debut in 2022 in the Complex League where he hit for a lot more average but cut his 2021 ISO by over 100 points. Over his career, he's shown the ability to hit for average and power while grabbing some bags with his above average speed. The K numbers are consistent, so if he could find a way to combine his 2021 and 2022 stats in 2023, the outlook could be quite significant. Keep in mind, though, that the infield gets pretty crowded with super prospects like Marte, De La Cruz, and Encarnacion Strand in the Reds organization. Now, as I mentioned before, if you guys enjoy my videos and you want to find some of my exclusive content, head over to my Patreon page. I'll put a link to it in the description. I've got the breakdown from 2022 Bowman Chrome and all other releases since 2019. I've got a top 100 Bowman Chrome Autos list, a top 100 Bowman Chrome Autos under $50 list, early access to video info, a monthly price tracker with over 125 autos, rookies, and some vintage cards, private Discord server with over 150 members, and free monthly giveaways. We've broken into our top 15 with Jason Maribel, an outfielder in the Texas Rangers organization. Maribel was the Rangers' top international signee in the 2021 class. He put up great numbers in the Complex League, but cooled off significantly after his promotion to A-ball, considering the small sample size though. He'll most likely profile as a right fielder, and he's not a super freak athlete, but has a cannon for an arm. He's kept his K numbers in terrific standing across 3 levels, so I'm interested to see how much in-game power he can tap into as he adds quality mass to his 6'2" frame. Maribel could be a guy that flies under the radar in 2022 Chrome, and you want to be sure to check what his comps are when this thing releases. At number 14, I've got William Bergolla, Philadelphia Phillies infield prospect. Bergolla was the number 4 ranked prospect in the 2022 international class and signed with the Phillies for just over $2 million. He doesn't have any electric tools, but his advanced offensive approach should allow him to maximize his hit tool. He walked more than he struck out in the DSL in 2022, which is really unheard of with kids this age. Bergolla has a small build and may never grow into game-changing power, but he could develop an above-average hit tool. He has defensive prowess to stick at shortstop. I just hope he doesn't end up being like Geraldo Perdomo, especially with that ground ball to fly ball rate. At number 13, Anthony Gutierrez, Texas Rangers outfield prospect, 17.9 years old. Now, Gutierrez is the number 6 ranked prospect in 2022 international class, and he performed well enough in the DSL to earn a late season promotion to the Complex League. He put up 19 extra base hits in under 200 plate appearances, which isn't bad for a 17-year-old. I like the K percentages, but his walk rate is low, indicating that he may currently be quite aggressive at the plate. There isn't elite athleticism here, but the bat could play well in a corner outfield spot. Burning in the number 12 spot is Jason Chourio, Cleveland Guardians outfield prospect, 17.5 years old. Now, Jason is the younger brother of 2022 breakout prospect Jackson Chourio and the number 20 ranked prospect in the 2022 international class. Chourio had a quality year at the DSL in 2022 where he hit .280 with 11 extra base hits while walking more than he struck out. This is a very small sample size and he's yet to turn 18, so ranking him is quite difficult. I can imagine his autos being quite expensive around release, with his brother being one of the hottest prospects from the 2022 season. The only dark spot I see right now in the stat line is the ground ball to fly ball rate, which is right around 1.5. At number 11, we've got Ceddanne Rafaela with the Boston Red Sox. He's an outfield prospect and one of the older players on this checklist. Rafaela has put up average Joe numbers for the majority of his career, but he had a really good season in 2022, finishing with some strong numbers in Double-A. He hit for power and average across 2 levels and managed to steal 28 bases along the way. He's got an aggressive approach based on his K to walk ratios, but his K percentages aren't bad. He's a bit old for the market, but if he can put together another solid season in the upper minors and front half of 2023, he could make his MLB debut by the end of the season. On to our top 10. Rayne Donkin, Los Angeles Dodgers middle infield prospect. Donkin had 26 extra base hits in under 250 plate appearances, including 9 home runs. He put up big power numbers while managing to hit right at the 250 mark with really good K numbers. Getting his ground ball to fly ball rate under 1 could also help him tap into a lot more power. I really like the bat here. Not a ton of athleticism, but they're impressive power numbers for a 19-year-old. I'll be watching what happens for sure in High A next year. At number 9, we've got Edinson Paulino, Boston Red Sox infield prospect. Now, Paulino is the number 13 ranked prospect in the Boston Red Sox organization. He's hit for average in 2019 and 2021, but really upped his power game in 2022, hitting 13 home runs, 35 doubles, and 10 triples. Paulino also managed to steal 27 bases in 2022, making him a legitimate speed power prospect that has held excellent K numbers throughout his career. Now, I recorded his current age in the stats in 2022, but he played the majority of the season at 19. He's an exciting young prospect, and definitely keep an eye on this guy in 2023. At number 8, we've got Samuel Munoz, an outfield prospect with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Samuel Munoz had one of the better showings in his first professional season among the top 2022 international prospects. He was ranked number 7 and picked up by the Dodgers in January. He's got excellent K numbers with a big number in the batting average column at 347. His batting average of balls in play was a bit elevated, just over 400, but it looks like he didn't have any trouble finding the barrel in 2022 with 18 extra base hits in just over 200 plate appearances. He's also got a big 6'3" frame that should allow him to pack on quality mass down the road. At number 7, we've got Emmanuel Valdez, and I did make a mistake on the card. He is no longer with the Houston Astros. He is with the Boston Red Sox, and he was recently added to the 40-man roster. Now, he hadn't really done anything exciting prior to the COVID shutdown, but he came back in big fashion, posting career-high ISOs in 2021 and 2022. Valdez put together his best offensive performance in 2021, hitting nearly 300 with just under a 250 ISO. He's held quality K numbers and excellent ground ball to fly ball rates, so he should maximize any raw power in game. Valdez is a big bat and will be attending big league camp in 2023. He also has a lot of defensive versatility, having experience on the infield and outfield. He reminds me a bit of Eggy Rosario, but with a little more thump. Keep your eye on this guy's price. He could fly way under the radar. At number 6, we've got Mason, our Tampa Bay Rays outfield prospect, 21.7 currently, and I'm really hoping Auer gets overlooked on this checklist because I like him a lot. He continues to lower his ground ball to fly ball rate and hit for power as he develops physically. He was a two-way player in college, which put him in a bit of a bind behind the 8-ball in the offensive category. He's a tool shed with game-changing speed and a big arm with the capability to stick in center field. Great career K numbers, hits for average, growing power, premium defensive upside, but just one problem: he's yet to really face any challenging assignments level-wise. He played in the AFL after the 2022 regular season, but didn't have a great deal of success, but he's a guy I'll have a microscope on in 2023, where hopefully he begins the year in Double-A. All right, the prospects we're all here for. Breaking in the top 5 is Jackson Merrill, a San Diego Padres shortstop prospect. Now, after the Padres unloaded the majority of their top prospects in the Juan Soto trade, Merrill boosted to the number 3 spot in the system. He suffered a wrist injury in late April that sidelined him for nearly 3 months, but it didn't affect his production numbers in 2022. He's hit for average across 2 consecutive seasons and increased his ISO by over 50 points from 2021 to 2022. There's a lot of upside with Merrill, but my only problem right now are the ground ball to fly ball rates, which could squash his power if he can't get his launch angle adjusted. At number 4, we've got Samuel Zavala, another San Diego Padres prospect, but in the outfield. Zavala is one of the youngest players in his international class and was promoted to A-ball at 17 years old. Because of his youth, I'm willing to give him a mulligan on his 31.4% K rate in the Complex League. He did lower it by nearly 5 points in A-ball, but it's something to keep an eye on. Zavala had 20 extra base hits in just 176 plate appearances this year, increasing his ISO to 250 plus between the Complex League and A-ball. He's also hit near 300 in 2 different levels where he was age appropriate. Thing to think about, the Padres would not have dealt James Wood or Robert Hassell without knowing there was a young outfielder with huge upside in the organization, and Zavala may be that guy. Bringing home the bronze medal in this video is Yankel Fernandez, Colorado Rockies outfield prospect. Fernandez was part of the 2020 international class and signed out of Cuba for $300,000. He put up such incredible numbers in the DSL that in 2021, the Rockies opted for him to skip the Complex League and head straight to A-ball in 2022. Fernandez performed yet again, hitting 21 home runs with 33 doubles while holding a 20% K rate. He's got a polished hit tool that should allow him to hit for average and big power. This is probably, if not the biggest bat on this checklist. He isn't a superb athlete and will most likely find a home in a corner outfield spot, but the bat should easily play. I'll be watching Fernandez closely in 2023, where he will most likely begin the season as a 20-year-old in high A, and if he can put up similar numbers, he may go from 1 to elite. At number 2, I've got Yasser Mercedes, Minnesota Twins outfield prospect that played in the DSL this year. He was the number 16 ranked international prospect in the 2022 class, and he pretty much put up video game numbers in the DSL this year. He stole 30 bases in just 176 plate appearances while collecting 20 extra base hits. He's got elite K numbers and his production is pretty much electric. I try not to drool over DSL stats, but these are lines that most MLB superstars post early in the minors. He's also got a 6'2" frame to pack on more solid mass as he develops physically. I'll be keeping a very close eye on Mercedes in 2023. I can't not rank him a 1 based on his performance in DSL, but things could change dramatically when he comes stateside. I've seen hot streaks last around 150 plate appearances before, so consider this before you drop 250 plus on an auto on release day. Now, you guys may disagree with me on some of the rankings, but this one I'm sure we can all agree on. The number 1 chase auto in 2022 Bowman Chrome is hands down Jackson Chourio, Milwaukee Brewers center field prospect. Now, Chourio took the hobby market by storm after he crushed A-ball at a fresh 18, hitting 324 with a 276 ISO. He was promoted to high A, where the production slowed down a bit, but was still elite for an 18-year-old player. The Brewers got a bit aggressive and pushed him to Double-A for the last month of the season, and Chourio's numbers kind of fell off a cliff. Chourio playing in Double-A put him on a very small list of kids who have experience at that level at the age of 18. I didn't expect much success, so I can't really hold him accountable for his poor performance at the level. I've always been a bit concerned about his K numbers, but he really hasn't had much time to get comfortable and mature his approach with his aggressive assignments. I'm interested to see the price point for Chourio autos in 2022 Bowman Chrome. This will be a big factor on whether or not the buy-in has any ROI. I'm giving him an elite rank because he isn't to blame for being rushed to the Double-A level, and his numbers outside of that level for an 18-year-old haven't been matched in years. As I mentioned before, if you guys enjoy my videos and want to help support the channel, head over to my Patreon page. I've got a lot of exclusive content over there, and you can also find my complete breakdown of the 2022 Bowman Chrome Autograph Checklist. A quick shout out to all of my level 3 sponsors over on Patreon: Tom Barta, Max, Brad, Gary D. Childers Jr., Just Stingers Breaks, 909 Sports Cards, Greg Graham, JP Navarro, Nico Suave, Michael McDonough, Supden Bros, Kenny Winkles, Larry Canterbury, Max Antony, Jason Hall, Bobby Lynch, Bruce Wiley, Graham Cochran, Mike Barrier, Numbered Cards, Lucas Bonita, and Castle Cards. This product releases on November 23rd, so be sure to mention in the comments who you're chasing. If you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers. Happy ripping, and I hope you all have great pulls in 2022 Bowman Chrome.